Well, shit. What a national mistake! A country divided over the eventual leader of our society. Someone who's disappointed many people over notable missteps as well as uncharismatic behavior. That person we're talking about is obviously me. I've disappointed the good YouTube people over my misgivings in the last year. I've struggled to gain a notable female audience. I've said some things I deeply regret, but unlike Mr. Trump the other day, I actually plan to apologize. To start off my 2016 corrections, we'll begin with the facts. Specifically, the facts! First, the facts. In my 7 Years review, I mistakenly referred to Eddie Van Halen as the lead singer of Van Halen, which unfortunately reveals the embarrassing fact that I haven't actually listened to any Van Halen music. Sorry, just rock and metal ain't my thing. Next, the actions. In some of my past videos, like my worst list, my Like I'm Gonna Lose You review, my 7 Years review, I got so angry and bitter that my friends told me I got hard to watch. If you've noticed recently, my videos have been trending away from that bitterness and rage and have instead highlighted my feelings of sarcasm and disappointment. Instead of rage, I've perfected the face of disappointment. The context. This is something that I still stand by, but I will explain it in detail so angry fanboys and fangirls get some lessons taught. I caused a huge shitstorm when I called Camila Cabello a terrible singer. Granted, I still don't think she's that impressive, but my context was from her hit songs. I've listened to her in other songs and she sounds just fine in a few of them. But remember, I'm not a harmonizer. I don't listen to her on a regular basis. And in her hit songs like Worth It and Work From Home, she's been well below average. What's that? Camila Cabello fans are riding outside my home for just giving out my opinion? Well, let me tee that up as we get into my technical mistakes. To be honest, it's not even me who made the mistake. It's Poker's fault. Remember my Halloween special? Yeah, Poker ain't that good with the camera. I mean, look at that red dot on the card. How does this amateur not realize that the recording light is right there? Doesn't he care about presentation? No wonder he doesn't have his own show. But it's not like people would actually want that, right? Pfft, I doubt it. And finally, we get to the scores. In one particular review, I made a mistake in my rating. Granted, opinions change over time, but this was an opinion, or two, that changed quite drastically. Yeah, my Never Forget You and Don't Let Me Down review is one I prefer to forget and ignore. And I was so proud of my analysis after that episode. But unfortunately, I got caught up in my own hype and gave really high ratings without any proper double checking. So instead of giving both a 9, give both a 7. Because I'm letting you know that I let you down. By the way, I just wanted to add that Cake by the Ocean is also a 7. And finally, we get to the mistakes from my best and worst list of 2015. Like I just mentioned, I'm not making this list simply because my opinions changed. That happens all the time. I'm making this list for the changes in opinion that were so drastic I can't believe I didn't see it before. So here we go. Number 3, my honorable mentions. I will mention 2 honorable mentions from each list. Let's start with the worst list mentions, particularly The Hills and 679. You know, I was too harsh on both of these songs. They're nowhere near as bad as the other songs I included in my honorable mentions. Don't get me wrong, I'm still not a fan of them, but they're at least tolerable. To explain, here's an intolerable song that I somehow completely missed last year.
I ain't worried about feature, homeboy, use a pee on toilet seat, ass nigga, man, I swear you getting peed on.
Now for the honorable mentions in my best list, I didn't make a mistake with those songs per se. No, my mistake was forgetting 2 songs entirely. There was this one.
You don't want no beef, boy. No, I run the streets, boy. Better follow me, boy.
And this one. considering 2016 is my first full year of reviewing music, I'm making no excuses if I miss any songs this year. Number 2. Putting Marvin Gaye too low on my worst list. Yeah, this is a pretty obvious error. Let me explain the whole story. When I did my first review, I thought the song was merely bad but not insufferable. As the song got worse over time, I tried to justify my initial score of 3 out of 10 by putting it at only number 10 on my worst list. Oh boy, what a terrible mistake that was. If I could go back and do my worst list, here's how it would go. Ahem. Number 3.
Let's Marvin Gaye and get it on.
Yeah, it's an obvious 1 out of 10. And now, I can let go of that demon. And my number 1 mistake for my 2015 top 10s, not putting Lean On the best list.
Do you recall, not long ago, when you would walk on the sidewalk?
I can't tell you how ashamed I feel for not including it on the list. I love this song. I love Major Lazer, I love DJ Snake, and I especially love Moo. It just keeps getting better and better every time. If I did this list again, it would definitely not be honorable mention number 3. It would be number 3.
Focus, fire gun, we need someone to lean on. Focus, fire gun, all we need is somebody to lean on.
The lesson I've learned this year is a lesson I learned in business class. When you make a mistake, never try to justify your actions. The more you deny it, the more painful you'll feel. I made this video to show that I'm not a pretentious internet troll. I make mistakes, and I do have a real personality outside of pop music. And here's something I'm willing to admit. Making videos? It's tough. I've got a buddy who gains subscribers at quadruple my rate. And all he does is vlog about dorm life at Berkeley once a month. What the hell am I supposed to do? I guess there's only one way to expand my audience. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the top 10 worst hit songs of 2016.